ISIS wants. The more Muslims feel sad, the more ISIS feel that they can recruit them. The more United States appears to be targeting Muslims, not just radical Muslims. You can be sure that ISIS would put that on their social media campaign. Donald Trump, think twice before you speak anything. You have been warned, Mr. Donald Trump. We are anonymous. We are legion.
Countries, including the U.S., are trying to recover from a massive cyber attack that locked up tens of thousands of computers. The targets included hospitals, companies, and government agencies.
New report by cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike is putting the spotlight on China-linked hacking groups. According to the report, 39 industries on nearly every continent were targeted by those groups in 2022. About a quarter of that aimed at North America. For more on this,
States and United Kingdom have imposed sanctions against 7 core members of a Russian hacking group called TrickBot. TrickBot's malevolent software at one point was considered one of the most dangerous security threats, as it is capable of extracting financial data, spreading across networks, and dropping ransom software.
Top 5 most notorious hackers and scammers in history. Ever wondered who are the people behind some of the biggest digital crimes and scams that shocked the world? They may have used their skills to outsmart systems and trick people, but in the end, none of them truly got away. Welcome back to Secret Mask, where we uncover the stories behind the most controversial figures and share lessons we can all learn from. Today we're counting down the top 5 most notorious hackers and scammers in history. Remember, these people are not heroes. Their actions caused real pain, loss, and damage to countless lives. But by knowing their stories, we can understand how to protect ourselves better. Let's begin. Number 5. Kevin Poulsen, Dark Dante. Starting off our list at number 5 is Kevin Poulsen, also known by his alias Dark Dante. Back in the 1980s and 90s, he became famous for his ability to take over telephone lines, almost like he had full control over how people communicated. One of his most famous stunts was when he hacked into the phone lines of a radio station in Los Angeles, ensuring that he would be the 102nd caller, winning a brand new Porsche as a prize. But it didn't stop there. He also gained access to classified information from government systems and databases, which caught the attention of authorities. He managed to stay on the run for a while, even appearing on the FBI's most wanted list, but he was eventually caught and sentenced to prison. After serving his time, he turned his life around. Today, he works as a journalist and cybersecurity expert, using his knowledge to help people instead of harming them. His story shows that even those who go down the wrong path can choose to make a change. Number 4. Suzanne von Bilderling, the Princess of Fraud. At number 4, we have someone who used charm and false identities to trick people for years. Suzanne von Bilderling, often called the Princess of Fraud. She created a false identity as a wealthy noblewoman, claiming she came from a powerful and rich family. With this story, she gained the trust of people from all walks of life, including business leaders and investors. She convinced them to give her large amounts of money, promising high returns or exclusive opportunities. For more than a decade, she moved from one place to another, leaving behind a trail of debt and broken trust. Many people lost their life savings because they believed in the story she created. Eventually, her lies were uncovered, and she was arrested and convicted. Her story reminds us that sometimes the most convincing scams don't just involve technology. They involve trust and human connection. Always verify before you believe, no matter how convincing the story sounds. Number 3. Kevin Mitnick, the world's most wanted hacker. Number 3 is one of the most well-known names in the history of hacking, Kevin Mitnick. In the 1990s, the FBI called him the most wanted computer criminal in the United States. Mitnick didn't just break into systems for money, he did it because he was curious, and he wanted to see if he could do it. He gained access to the networks of major companies, phone systems, and even government databases. He was so skilled at covering his tracks that it took authorities years to catch him. When he was finally arrested, he spent several years in prison. But just like Poulsen, he chose a different path after his release. He became a trusted cybersecurity consultant, teaching companies and individuals how to protect their systems from people who might try to do what he once did. His story teaches us that skill is neither good nor bad, it's what you choose to do with it that makes the difference. Number 2. Bernie Madoff, the mastermind behind the biggest scam. Taking the second spot is someone whose actions affected thousands of people around the world. Bernie Madoff. He was the brain behind what is widely considered the largest financial fraud in history. For decades, he ran what is known as a Ponzi scheme. He promised investors high and steady returns on their money, and many people trusted him because he was seen as a successful and respected figure in the financial world. But in reality, he wasn't investing their money at all. He was just using the money from new investors to pay those who had invested earlier. When the global financial crisis hit in 2008, the whole system collapsed. People lost billions of dollars, including their retirement funds, savings, and money meant for charities. Many families and organizations were left devastated. Madoff was caught, pleaded guilty, and was sentenced to 150 years in prison. His story is a painful reminder that if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. No investment or offer is risk-free, and it's important to do your research before trusting anyone with your money. Number 1. Albert Gonzalez, the Carter King. And at the top of our list is Albert Gonzalez, who led one of the most damaging cybercrime operations ever recorded. Gonzalez and his group of hackers broke into the payment systems of major retailers and companies, stealing more than 170 million credit card and debit card numbers over several years. The total damage caused by their actions was estimated to be hundreds of millions of dollars. At one point, he was even working as an informant for the U.S. Secret Service, helping them catch other hackers, while at the same time, he was running his own illegal operation. He used his knowledge and access to avoid being caught, but eventually, his activities were discovered. He was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison. His story shows how dangerous it can be when people with advanced knowledge use it to exploit others, and how even those who seem to be on the right side can make terrible choices. Today, his case is often used as an example in cybersecurity training, helping experts understand how such attacks happen and how to stop them. So there you have it, the stories of 5 of the most notorious hackers and scammers in history. While they had impressive skills or convincing ways, none of them were able to escape the consequences of their actions. Their stories are not here to be admired, but to teach us important lessons. Always be careful with your personal information, verify everything before you trust or invest, and use your abilities for good, not harm. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Secret Mask. If you learned something new or found this interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what other stories or topics you want me to cover next. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep your secrets protected. This is Secret Mask signing off.